So I want to give you kind of an update on what's going on in the 3D space. Proof of Weekends 3D, FOMO3D, long and short. First of all, volume has radically slowed down coming into FOMO3D. Now, is it going to end anytime soon? Yeah, probably not. I was seeing one of the developers talking about, if you think it's going to end, then he wouldn't recommend, purchasing any keys. But if you thought it was going to go on for a long time, weeks, months, or years, which I do believe that, then he said that he would, then at that point, there's no reason not to purchase more keys because, you're going to get arguably a relatively safe return if you think it's going to last long enough, the contract or the game, this round one, if you think the round's going to last long enough. But the reality is, if it's just, if you're playing the game to play the game, that's one thing. But if you're playing the game as a gamble and you're looking to get a return on your money or you're looking to win, then there's a lot of other places you can get a return on your money, arguably that would be better than buying keys. When I was buying these keys, I think my first keys I bought at like 20, 30 cents a piece, somewhere in there, 40 cents at the most. But now one key is 0.005 ETH. I mean, that's what, $3? So they're obviously getting quite expensive, and they'll get increasingly expensive. For me personally, I mean, so far in about 15 hours, I've made $91 in earnings, and I put about $1,200 in the beginning of this game. But I've also like reinvested. I mean, I didn't pull anything out. I didn't really pull anything out to say. I mean, like I haven't actually even pulled out what I've put in yet, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm definitely going to get that out probably by the end of this week or even next week. Probably next week. I'll get that out. So I'm not really worried about that part of it, so to speak. But when I look at, if I'm playing a game and the goal is to be able to win money back, and the rules of the game, and once you understand the rules, if you go through the Wikipedia, the wiki, the quick start guide, if you go through that quick start guide, you understand the rules of FOMO3D. So I understand the rules of the game. I just think there's better ways. Now, granted, we may see a big surge. This is only 21,000 Ethereum. I think someone calculated there's only the smart contract, according to smart contracts, like 3,000 players or something. So the reality is there's a lot more opportunity for people to come in. And, a lot of people are saying things like, oh, everyone's waiting for FOMO3D short. Well, let me just be totally honest and transparent here. I have some concerns about FOMO3D short for a few reasons. I like the idea of a game that is actually going to have rounds that end, because I don't even know if round one is ever going to end. I mean, at a $4 key, this is a $10 million pot, and the goal is to be the last person to buy a key when this timer drops. Who's gonna not spend $4? I mean, there's a lot of people on this planet that would spend a lot of money chasing that last key. So, especially as this pot grows proportional. So, I don't know what this is going to do other than eventually just be a big vacuum for Ethereum. Like, I really do believe that's possible. So, I don't even know if this is ever going to end. I mean, part of me is like, look, the dev team is incredible, but no one actually, I mean, I personally don't know them or anything, but I look at this and I'm like, are they trying to blow up the price of Ethereum? Because at some point, this pot holds all sorts of, Ethereum in it. So, I mean, we may see 1 million, 2 million Ether in here at some point. So, are they just trying to, prop up the value of Ethereum? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to break the Ethereum network? I mean, heck. I'm like, seriously. I mean, please understand, I think overall what they're doing is absolutely revolutionary, but I don't understand. Then again, the reality is they probably didn't know what to expect in some way either from all of this. So, for them, it's a bit of an experiment as well, most likely. But the FT3 short is basically my understanding of this version, and you can read this more about that in the wiki as well. But my understanding on this version is basically what it is FOMO long, except instead of 23-hour max clock, it's going to be a 90-second max clock. There's going to be a 1-hour ICO phase where everyone can put in money, which, by the way, I may or may not do that. Everybody's so excited about that. I don't even know if in the ICO phase you'll get your money back, because this did not have an ICO phase. It just kind of launched basically. And I think they did limit how much you could put in the very beginning, but it was live basically. Like They might have capped it, I think, to 1 ETH until there was 100 Ethereum in the contract or something. And then it was a free-for-all, something like that, someone was saying. However, they're going to have an ICO phase of an hour. A lot of people saw insane results. Some people tripled the money they put in or more. Some people are still waiting to get their money back. But either way, I can see a lot of Ethereum going in during the ICO phase. But then the game's going to start. And let's just say there's 10,000, 5,000 Ethereum. And I believe that's possible right out the gate in the ICO phase alone. Let's just say that happens. I mean, if there's 3,000 players in FOMO short and they put in just 1 ETH apiece, that's 3,000 Ethereum right there. That's 3,000 Ethereum just from the start. But in order for those individuals to, the differences are, you need to understand the differences of the game. So it's going to be a 90-second clock, and the key prices go up far more drastically. So there's a bit of a bigger curve in the key price versus the jackpot. So over time, my assumption is the jackpot becomes much smaller proportional to the key price, or the key price becomes much larger proportional to the jackpot. So it forces the round at some point to end because some people are going to say, hey, it's not worth it to keep going after it. Basically, the keys are getting so expensive and I'm spending so much on keys that the jackpot is just not worth it. So the idea is that rounds will last days or weeks, not months or years. And at first they thought they would last hours, but I think it could last hours. And if there's a tremendous amount of Ethereum in the ICO phase, I just don't see how. First of all, I have a problem with the 90-second transaction. It's hard sometimes on Ethereum to get a 90-second transaction through. And they're saying, well, there are already people talking about putting in 500 gas per transaction. Someone else said 1,000 gas. One person I saw in Discord predicted that someone would win F3D short because of gas prices, not key prices. And my thought is, why would you even want to do that to the Ethereum network? Like, that's not a positive thing for the ecosystem. That's where I'm like, I just don't know what's going to happen with that if it really is that competitive. And I think it's possible that the network could get clogged up literally, and someone could win because 90-second transactions are just, I mean, it is possible for someone to clog up the network if there's enough, people trying to just shove gas through or whatever. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just saying these are my concerns because I don't know. I'm just speculating on the game. So if you're going to play F3D short, play all of these games at your own risk. They're all a gamble. I mean, frick. This isn't, an investment, that's for sure. P3D is fascinating. People are, P3D has gone up a lot in the contract. The dividends have been good. The rewards have been good. So let's see. Total Ethereum handled by the smart contract. That's crazy. That's not in the contract right now. There's over 70,000 Ethereum in the contract right now. And personally, lately, I've been earning over 1%, even as much as 2% in tokens, meaning, if I have 100 tokens, I've been getting 2 or 3 tokens a day. 1.5 to 3 tokens a day is what I've been getting. But we've been having high volatility. But P3D is fascinating. It's the main thing anyway. Like I mean, the more I watch how FOMO plays out, I'm actually a little less excited. I mean, I think the concept is cool, and I think the developers are going to continue to create and recreate something that's fascinating. I'm not certain if, FOMO3D long, like the long con they call it. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about how this is going to play out. It's going to be fascinating to see how it goes when it gets toward the end game. It's going to be very interesting. Let's see if I've earned anything. When this was going nuts, I was making as much as I think the best hour made like $1,300 in an hour in rewards and earnings. But keep in mind, we ran this thing from 1,000 to 21,000. So for it to grow like that again, the way this works is there has to be an ever expanding amount of Ethereum coming in to keep earnings constant. Earnings are always going to be trending down long term. That's important for you to understand about the game. You have to understand that there's no need to play if you can't wrap your brain around that. If this goes up to, 20,000, if this doubles, well, those rewards end up getting, well, not these rewards, but the money, the Ethereum coming in gets distributed among 34 million keys. I only hold 16,000, so I have a small percentage of those keys. And so there has to be enough Ethereum constantly coming in to keep a growing number of keys basically earning rewards. I hope that makes sense. I'm hoping I'm explaining that clearly, and maybe I'm not. But if you don't understand it, the bottom line is you don't need to play. Well, here's what's fascinating about FOMO3D long. It's designed to send volume back to P3D. FOMO3D short, same thing. The devs supposedly are coming out with like some sort of a dev kit or whatever, where other people can be a part of the P3D ecosystem, where they can create their own decentralized dApps on the Ethereum blockchain that also correlate with P3D, so they add more volatility to P3D. The devs also have another project coming out. I think they're calling it P3X right now. That may change. They've also mentioned something called a Sirius token, and I don't know what that's referring to. I'm assuming it's not a game. It's some sort of an application. But all of the applications that the development team is building are designed to constantly throw a little bit of volume back to the P3D token. The way the P3D token works, again, because I always get questions about this, is every trade, every buy or sell has a 10% flat transaction fee applied. Instead of this going to the exchange, like Coinbase, the fee is split among all currently held tokens. So the more tokens you get, the more rewards you get. And you can use you get Ethereum every day, and you can reinvest Ethereum back into tokens, or you can pull it out into your MetaMask or your Ethereum wallet or whatever. So it's very, very, I mean, this whole thing is just interesting. I mean, I think it's one of the more interesting things going on right now, not from a profitability, ability to earn standpoint, not from a technological standpoint, but from a use case. There's so many things in this space that just aren't usable. There's a lot of great ideas, but things aren't happening. And at least with Proof of Weekends 3D and FOMO3D and the FOMO long and the FOMO short, there's things happening. So it's very fascinating to watch and see what's going on. That's my stance on it right now. I don't recommend you play any of these games. And I mean, I think the games in and of themselves are high risk. The whole thing's high risk. I mean, this is cryptocurrency. But it's definitely a lot of fun to be a part of this space and to watch what's going on. I'm going to definitely continue commenting on it and following it, even if I don't actively play it. I mean, I'm going to be trickling out rewards here, but even if I'm not, real actively playing it, I mean, I am going to play F3D. I'm just going to watch how it goes. I'm not. I mean, everybody in Discord is like, oh yeah, F3D is coming out, it's going to blow up, blah blah blah. Yeah, I am expecting, I think I got greater than 50% chance to lose. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I, 3x, 5x, 10x my money. I hope it's, people are wanting to see kind of a repeat of this. And, maybe I will, maybe that will happen. I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying I haven't found anyone that's been able to answer for me what's going to happen in this space. 90-second transactions and the gas, and why would we as a community want to stress Ethereum network to that degree? I mean, is the goal to break the Ethereum network? I mean, what's the goal? And if you even think there's a little bit of a problem, why wouldn't you change the timer to 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, or 2 minutes? Why would you, my dog is scratching on the door, why would you not change the timer to something a little bit more reasonable? And if the concern is that it's going to go on too long, let the key prices go up a little bit faster potentially. I don't know. That's just my thoughts without actually seeing the game. So I may be totally out of line, but I can tell you what, it launches, I think it's this Friday at 8 o'clock, if I'm doing that right, 80 hours. 3 days. What's this, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Yep, Friday. So it's going to be fascinating. I'm looking forward to following the ride. Hey, go to the website, read about it, check out the wiki. I don't necessarily recommend that you play because, again, I think everything's high risk. But definitely take a look at the miscellaneous tab, read through the wiki, and just if you're in the crypto space, pay attention to this stuff. I mean, these are the #1 dApps right now on dApp radar. I mean, they're making waves. There was a news article in CCN just covered the FOMO3D game. It's going to be fascinating. So let's just enjoy the ride. This crypto space is like the wild, wild west. It's exciting. We are so cutting edge right now. So cutting edge. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to this video. Hit that thumbs up icon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.